Now we want to make sure that we have the right side of the panel facing the front of the door. There's probably two sides of your panel. One probably looks better than the other. So make sure the good side is facing forward and run the sander over this quick. Make sure it's sanded nicely because it's much more difficult to do after the door is put together. Then I'm going to glue the other rail. Put that in. Be patient with this. This is not something that you have to really fight with. It should go together fairly nicely. If the machines are all set up right. Now when we put this together, we can see that it's kind of staying together. We're going to tighten up one side first. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up, it's hard to see from where you're at, but I'm going to line up one side and get that looking really nice before we try to get both sides. When people run into really frustrating situations is when they try to get both ends lined up perfectly at the same time. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on the clamp. What I like to do now is just grab a hammer and tap the stile and the rail. I tap the rail so it's completely flush with the stiles. And then I'll go ahead and tighten this one down permanently. So you can see what I've done there, and it's okay if we have glue out here because that's easy to sand off. I've lined up the rails with the stiles on one side. Then I'm going to do the other side. So we got to put a little bit of pressure on there. Don't crank it down super hard yet. Then I come, just gently tap it. If you're having to hit this thing as hard as you can, something has probably gone wrong in our process. Then we should see nice tight joints. If you want to, you can smear the glue off here. It's not that big a deal, but we should be looking at the back of the door right now. Next thing I want to do is check my nail gun, make sure that I have 5/8 nails. What happens if I use 3/4 inch nails?
We'll go through.
It's going to go right through and you're going to have nails in the front of your door. So make sure that you just use the 3/4 inch nails. And then we're going to put 2 nails. We're trying to get it through the tongue of the rail so it all sticks together. What would happen if I put a nail right here? What would it do?
Nothing.
It wouldn't do anything. And there I've got my door. And I want to let this set up for about 10 minutes before I take it out of the clamps. It should, in theory, be able to come out right now, but we're not in any rush. Let's let that glue set up and get a nice tight stick. That's how you assemble your door. After you would be done with this assembly, it would dry for 10 minutes or so. Then we're going to go edge sand it, send it through the time saver, and then route the edges. And then we'll hand sand the door. Questions? All right. You guys can go to work if you need to know how to put inch cup holes in your door.